Hi friends, and welcome back to Finishing the Score, where you can follow along with my songwriting journey and I share the tips and tricks I'm learning along the way. Today's video will be the first of a three-part series where I talk about how I use the note-taking app Notion in my songwriting. For those who aren't familiar with Notion just yet, it is a web-based note-taking platform that allows you to create customized pages, page layouts, and databases. I've been using Notion at this point for about a year and a half, and where I started was a pretty simple space, just basic note-taking and a daily habit tracker. But as I've continued to use it and add, I've grown it to a system that covers all sorts of things like my daily task tracking. I use it for fitness tracking and for my music writing. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about in this series. The videos in this series are going to progress in the ways that I started using Notion for my songwriting. So in this first video, we're going to be talking about how I use Notion's note-taking features to write lyrics. In the second video, I'm going to be showing you my databases for all of the songs that I have and how I keep track of what's in work, what's completed, and what are just ideas. In my third video, I'll be showing you some of my support databases that I've created to help out my songwriting process, including a songwriter's toolbox, sensory free writing, title notebook, and more. If you'd like to learn more about how to use Notion, I highly recommend the videos on August Bradley's YouTube channel. Most of the systems that I built in Notion are very similar and based off of some of the things that he presents in his videos. They're incredibly thorough, and if you're looking for something in Notion, he's probably got it on his channel. So let's jump in and get a feel for a Notion page. So for my main dashboard, I'm going to jump into a song called Ready to Let Go. This is a song from my upcoming EP. So right from the top, you can see that there's a breadcrumb set of links. So you can see that this page exists inside my database, My Songs. We'll take a closer look at my song database next week. First thing, underneath the title here, you can see that there's a number of different variables. Each of these different symbols means it's a different data type for the variables. So starting up here, I've got a status. I've got a number of different statuses that allow me to sort some of the songs that I have in work or completed by what stage they're in. So I can quickly see them at a glance in the song database. I've also got date created and date updated. These fields automatically update as needed. Then I've got a number of these fields with this arrow. This is called a relation property. And what this is doing is to link this page to another Notion page. And this is one of the incredible things that's powerful about Notion. So here under destination writing, this is a piece of sensory free writing that I did associated with this particular song. If I click on that page, I can open it up and I can see the other page that's associated with this one. So in that way, I have the ability to link a lot of important information to this song and not have it specifically clutter up the single page. I can have it easily accessible when I want it. Similarly, I've got projects. The project database contains a number of different projects that I'm working on right now. So this one is linked, as I said, to my EP. I've also got here what's called the artist log, and this is where I have been recording how much time I spend in a given songwriting session, and also key notes if I want to look back and see what are the important things I did on a given day. So each one of these pages is an entry of when I spent some time working on this song. And also I have a relation to a number of different tasks associated with this song. In some cases, the song has used a title from my title notebook or an inspiration from my Spark file, but in this song, both of those happen to be empty. If the song is part of a larger collection, I have a field for track number so that they sort correctly in other database views, but I don't have info for that just yet on this one. The last field with the magnifying glass is really cool. This 18.28 number shows the hours that I've spent so far on this song. If I click in to edit this field, and hover over this relation, you can see that it's related to my artist log. It's looking at the property of time, and it is summing all that together. So for all of these entries in my artist log, it's summing the individual times that I logged in there. Jumping down into the contents of the page, the first thing I have is a database view showing the same linked entries from the artist log, along with the date that they were created. If I'm doing more work on the song, I can add a new entry by clicking down here. Next, I've got a database view showing the tasks associated with this song right now. Right now, I've got one task in here, which is to rework the song based on some feedback that I got. And below that, I start to get into the meat of working on the song. This is where I can start brainstorming, writing down lyric lines, and thinking of rhyme options, for example. I specifically want to highlight 4 things about Notion that makes it really awesome for songwriting. One of them is that it's really easy to rearrange lines. Just by hovering over the edge of one of the lines, this 6 dots pops up, and it allows me to rearrange them as I see fit. So if I've come up with a bunch of random lyric ideas, it's as simple as that to rearrange them and try to put them into a cohesive section. Another thing that I like a lot about Notion is the ability to embed audio clips. So in this example, I had a recording app on my phone, took down some ideas as audio, and that went automatically to my Dropbox, where I could just drag that straight into the Notion page, and it's embeddable as an audio file that I can listen to as I'm working. The next feature I really love is called the toggle list. So if we look at this section of lyrics that I was working on, I've set aside some lyrics that I like here for each of the sections, but if I'm working and rearranging and I've got lots of extra lyric lines, I can sort of drag the ones that I don't like as much to the bottom and put them in this toggle list, which I can then collapse, and that hides all of those lyrics. So they're in the place that I want them if I ever want to look back and try swapping out some lyrics, but they don't clutter up the main note-taking page. And finally, customizable columns allows me to track information associated with a given lyric structure, such as the stress pattern and rhyme scheme, which makes it easier for me to construct a new verse or new chorus to match the first one. So in this case, I've got a verse that I like. I write out the stress patterns in this column, and that I can copy down to other sections. So if I don't have lyric lines yet, I can put that in another column, and I can try to match the stress patterns as I'm coming up with lines. I've also got over here in this third column, to the left is the rhyme scheme. So here we have XXA, XXA, and I also have the number of stressed syllables to just sort of get a visual indication of what's going on in a given lyric line. And that's pretty much it for the lyric writing itself. With the ability to rearrange content and organize as I see fit, it's really the ideal tool for me for writing lyrics. What about you? Do you use Notion for lyric writing? Is there a different tool that you prefer? Do you just prefer plain old pen and paper? Because that's cool too. If you liked this video, please hit like, and if you want to follow along with this little series on how I use Notion for songwriting, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, friends! Finishing